What up, though, everybody, and welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodward Sports. Easy got stuck in some traffic on 696. He'll be here very, very shortly. I am Spencer Raxter, as well as Chris Platte and Nick Kohloff in the booths as usual. Quick shout out before we started. You see on the desk here, we got a couple of lanterns. They were handcrafted from our guy Doug Homrich, all the way in South Carolina. I'm going to call you SC Doug. SC Doug from South Carolina sent these up. There's two more in the back. There's a Detroit Tigers one and a University of Michigan one as well. He said he's a big fan of the show. He started woodworking to deal with some things he was going through. And he sent the boys some lanterns. He sent these electric candles to put in there too. So I'm going to put one out on my back porch tonight. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. It's very, very cool. They're all extremely well done, well crafted woodworking here from Doug. So shout out to Doug. It's really cool, really cool. Like I said, there's a Detroit Tigers one and a Michigan one as well in the back. I don't know about the Michigan one. Might have to give that away. But shout out to you, SC Doug. He's, like I said, he's a fan of the show. He's been watching. He said he's in South Carolina. So he sent these up, mailed them to the boys. It's very cool of him, and we appreciate that a lot. But the big news, the big show. It's time to play the game. Yeah, do that again, Chris. Easy, look at these. Easy's walking in right now. There's two more in the back. There's a Detroit Tigers one and a Michigan one. These were, if you want to read this letter that he sent with them as well, don't read it out loud, but it's from, I'm calling him SC Doug, because it's Doug from South Carolina. He's the guy we met at Second Best before the Tigers game. Yeah, he sent us 4 of these. They came with little electric candles to put in there too, so they're like lanterns. Like you put the little electric candle in the bottom and it'll light up. So shout out to SC Doug, man. It's really cool stuff.
Shout out to SC Doug.
We met him at Second Best. He was in town for the Lions game.
Easy, you're so much cooler than Spencer. Don't tell him I said that.
Yeah, that was in the invisible ink. Easy's just got piss on his hands, so it shows.
In fact, tell Spencer he smells kind of weird.
But we have a lot to talk about today. Obviously, some big news in the NFL world with Devontae Adams going to the Jets and Amari Cooper going to the Bills. But the biggest news is Lil Weenie Boy back in full effect.
Hot dog boy!
Nick in the hot dog suit.
Some things never change.
Yeah, how you feeling there, Wiener Schnitzel?
Ask me about my Wiener.
I threw the Red Wings on for the hot dog suit today. I figure it would look a little better, gets the ketchup and mustard going. And I will say this again: this will be the last week I'm ever in the hot dog suit. Said it last week, didn't come to fruition. But
I said last week, and you ended up on it the very next week.
Yeah.
I didn't put you on a jumbotron. It was meant to be, bro.
Will
Yeah,
Pre in the Woodward Sports chat says, does he have a place where you can order those?
Ooh.
I don't know.
Did you say in a letter at all?
No, he didn't. SC Doug, if you got the people like them. So if you want to comment in the chat, we can pin that to the top if these are available for sale. I don't know. He just said he took up woodworking to deal with some things that he had going on in his life. And these are very cool, man. I don't want to put his business in the street, so I'm not going to get specific. But
did he tell you his Barry Sanders story?
yeah.
What a legend.
Yeah, he's a very cool guy, man. Very cool guy. So
The 90s, what an era.
shout out to him for hooking up. But yeah, the 90s.
You hop over Gatons to go meet
Yeah,
Barry Sanders.
No security, no nothing. Shout out to Weenie Nick, getting a lot of love in the chat.
Shout out Hot Dog Boy.
Steve-O Baby says, Nick, it's not Halloween yet.
Good one, Steve-O. That was a big old dad joke. I liked it.
That's a good one. I like it as well.
Big fat old dad joke.
But we got a lot to talk about today. Obviously, we'll start with this. Just get it out of the way. Red Wings lose to the Rangers last night, 4-1. It's just a better team. It's a better team, showing why they're a better team. You know, the New York Rangers are a Stanley Cup favorite this year, and they went out there and proved it. The Red Wings really need to get a hold of what's going on their power play. Seems like they're missing Gostisbehere and David Perron from last year because the power play is off to a pretty poor start. I believe they're 1 for 9 so far this season. Obviously, it's only game 3, so still got a lot of time, but not a good showing for them last night.
You like the Lions?
What?
You know how we talked about switching up the lines last night? How'd you guys feel about? I mean, the Rangers are a good team. Anyway.
Yeah, the Rangers, dude. Yeah, Igor's probably the best goalie in the NHL. They got Panarin and they got Zibanejad. Adam Fox is playing at a high level. They're loaded, man. Lafreniere looked pretty good last night.
At least we scored.
Yeah, Dylan Larkin.
Chat. What about St. Nick? I apologize.
No, I was just gonna say I turned it off after the second. To be honest, it was just.
Yeah.
But I just think that was a game that the way that second period went, like you should have took control in the situations you had when you were on that hot run, and they just could not get the quality scoring chance to actually get in the back of the net. I mean, Shesterkin, right, is how you pronounce
Igor
it.
Shesterkin.
He was unreal. So it's like those are ones that you hope you can steal on the road, but you can't. You know, if you're gonna play as good as you did in that second period, you got to try to at least put some goals in the back of the net, and they weren't able to do so. That was a difference in the game, I thought.
They weren't, and it's literally on the power play. I think they were 0 for 3 on the power play last night. You can't let that happen, especially when you're going up against better teams like the New York Rangers. And like you said, they had some opportunities. Like Tarasenko had an opportunity at point blank. I believe Lucas Raymond had an opportunity at point blank. JT Compher had an opportunity at point blank.
Edvinsson.
Edvinsson was right in there, which I like to see. Because remember, I said yesterday I need to see him get a little bit more involved in the offense, and he was. He was making some plays, which I like to see. But Igor is just, he's looking to be the highest paid goalie in the NHL. He's going to be the highest paid goalie in the NHL. He's probably going to be the highest paid player on the New York Rangers, around $12 million a year. He's that good.
Speaking of, what did you think of the goaltending last night overall, like for the Red Wings? Because they did catch that break too. Right, it was the end of the second period, right, where that one scored right after the buzzer.
Yeah, I mean it was Alex Lyon's first game of the year. Kind of threw the Wolves there, first game going up against the Rangers
on the road
in New York. I mean, you'd like to see him make more saves, but like I said, I can't hold it against him that much. The defense didn't play bad. It's not like they let up 35, 40 shots, but it's just the Rangers are good, man. They're a juggernaut in the East, so you'd like to see him stop maybe one or two more, but if you don't have any pressure on the other end and you got guys like Panarin and Zibanejad and Lafreniere that are going to be just attacking you constantly in the offensive zone, it's going to be a long night for any goal you have in there.
That's such a fun name to say, Lafreniere.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Speaking of juggernauts in the East, 5 consecutive Eastern Conference Finals,
yes,
1
sir.
NBA championship, 1 Finals MVP. Chauncey Billups was inducted into the NBA Hall of Fame, Basketball Hall of Fame, I should say.
Naismith
Basketball Hall of Fame. And he did so in true Detroit fashion with the Buffs. You got the video, Chris?
Yes, I do.
Coach Larry Brown, who was supposed to be here with me tonight. Unfortunately, you're not here. I know you're watching. Coach, I love you. Nobody demanded more out of me than you. Nobody made me better than you. Nobody is still helping me more than you. I got any questions, I call you. LB, I love you, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much, man.
Shout out to Chauncey Billups. That's our point guard. That's our generation's point guard. We didn't get to see Isaiah Thomas play. Well, Easy did. He was covering his prime, but Isaiah Thomas was obviously the greatest point guard in Pistons history. But Chauncey was ours, man. Mr. Big Shot, just legend in the game. Legend, respected amongst all basketball circles. Very well deserving to be inducted into the Naismith Hall of Fame in there with his brother Ben Wallace now. So you love to see that.
Yeah, for me, I mean, that's part of the reason I look at basketball the way I do. Like, even the Jaden Ivey pick like that, I just view it as a team sport because I've watched one of the best team accomplishments with the best 5 alive with those guys. Yeah. And you could win that way. And I just know we're a small market team, and that just feels like the way to get it done here in Detroit with the Detroit Pistons. And that's why I was so particular on fit and whatnot, because I grew up watching Chauncey, Rip, Ben, Rashid, Tayshaun. Yeah. I mean, they just all fit, and I don't know whether or not Dumars intentionally put those guys together, but they definitely created magic in the court.
Yeah, and the cool thing too, like looking back at it, is Chauncey's play. Like, there's not really many point guards playing like Chauncey today. Like, Chauncey's just his physical play as a point guard was unreal. The way he would just kind of bully ball people, it was something that now you're seeing a different version of that in the NBA with now these bigger guards like Luka and all of that, where they're obviously just much bigger people than Chauncey Billups. But that mentality, like Chauncey Billups is 6'2", 6'3", and he would just like, if you got a point guard that was even 6'1" and scrawny like Tony Parker, he was just putting the muscle to him every time. It was awesome.
Yeah, and Chauncey obviously, never the most athletic guy on the court, never the fastest or the best handle or the best shooter. I mean, but he was just great at everything. He was a floor general in all senses of the term. Getting that offense going, making sure to rip off of those screens when he's running, backdoor screens.
Yeah.
Getting the ball down to Ben Wallace, out on the perimeter, Tayshaun and Rashid. It was awesome to watch Chauncey run a game of basketball, a true floor general, a true point guard in the NBA. It was awesome. I love Chauncey Billups, and I'm really happy that he got honored with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's the reason I fell in love with basketball. I mean, I felt like he was the leader amongst men, for that team.
Yeah.
It was kind of a different way. I mean, I played point guard growing up, but it was just a different way to lead. You were a facilitator, and he was the reason I fell in love with Detroit basketball, and the reason I still do to this day have this special place in my heart, even for a franchise that hasn't been good in so damn long. It's because of those five, and specifically Chauncey Billups. So shout out, well deserved.
There's been like 3 moments in my life that I guess I just remember like school and the world kind of just stopping. Chauncey Billups being traded was one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember in school, my teacher was like, he'd like sit down, like, whoa, like the Mr. Krabs meme, like, and I was like, what's wrong, Mr. Eberflus? Or Eberflus.
Just got Bears on the mind.
Mr. Eberry. And he said Chauncey was traded, and we had like a moment of silence in class. It was crazy.
Yeah, you didn't know what to do, man. I mean, cool. We got the shell of Allen Iverson, but
and he gave your boy Melo his longest run too.
Yes, he did. Yeah,
he's just that guy.
He knows how to win in the NBA. He knows that, Chauncey's the man. So very well deserved. Shout out to Chauncey for being inducted into the Naismith Hall of Fame. Another legend in the state of Michigan, and one we are pretty close with, inducted into the Hall of Fame. Braylon Edwards inducted into the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Going in on Thursday. The heavyweights may or may not be in the building broadcasting live from that induction ceremony. We're still ironing out the details there, but shout out to Braylon, very well deserving. The best offensive player in the history of the University of Michigan. Top 3 pick in the NFL, the single season touchdown record holder for the Cleveland Browns. Braylon's the man, dude. Just a solid guy too. It's my brother. Very class act. Very well deserving. Surprised it took this long, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of crazy it took him this long.
Yeah.
All things considered, what he'd done at the University of Michigan, it's champion around this part of town.
Yep.
The state, the world, really.
You still see these little shits running around wearing number 1 Michigan jerseys, and that's because of Braylon Edwards.
Little white kids named Braylon.
Yeah, dude.
It's because of Braylon Edwards.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. So shout out to Braylon, shout out to Chauncey. A lot of great inductions this week. But we're going to go to break real fast. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about the Detroit Lions. We're going to talk about possible breaking news in the NFL. Wide receivers changing places. But let me tell you about Planet Fitness. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. I got shoulder day to day. There's more. I go to the one in Warren, but there's more than 50 in Metro Detroit, thousands more throughout the world. At Planet Fitness, you'll get a squeaky clean gym, tons of equipment, a friendly, knowledgeable staff, and a totally judgment-free atmosphere. And did you know that all memberships include fitness training for no extra cost? But if you want more, you can upgrade to the Black Card and get use of amenities like hydro massage, total body enhancement, massage chairs, and access to over 2,500 locations worldwide. Planet Fitness, you can join in club or online at planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
To prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness, we're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? You should see what I did there. Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports. We are the network for Detroit, by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law got your back. If you tell them the heavyweight cinch, they will pay your first-time filing fee. They got 10-plus years of experience and 24/7 availability. Scan the QR code above my head or contact them by 248-971-0476. It's Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law. They got your back.
Divorce.
What up, though? Welcome back to Whatever Waits Live on WoodwardSports.com. Everybody easy. Join my guy, Spin More Raxter, Chris, Nicholas Kohloff, a.k.a. Microwave, Nick, a.k.a. Today. You guys want to harass him all week.
Glizzy boy.
Hot dog boy.
Glizzy boy.
Smash that like button, be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream.
Again, shout out to our guy SC Doug.
Shout out to SC Doug.
From South Carolina. He sent us these lanterns, handcrafted, hand carved, hand forged. However
sick.
you want to say it. They're very cool, very well done. There's a Michigan one. Nick's gonna take the Michigan one. Easy's gonna take the Lions
Tigers
one.
There's a debate over
Chris,
the
the
Michigan
baseball
State
savant,
one.
is gonna take the Tigers one, and I'm gonna take the MSU one.
Shout out.
You know what,
Shout
Spencer? You really want the Tigers one. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. I'll
Chris,
take the state
it's
one.
either you get the Tigers one or you don't get one. It's like, I'm taking the state one. I want the state one the most. That one's dope.
You just told me off air you want the Tigers one more.
Yeah. Well, should have got it in writing. But Easy, tell us about these breaking news
Breaking news.
in the NBA or in the NFL.
I was like, wait, what I missed?
Yeah. Kawhi Leonard
The
traded.
Raiders officially have been peer pressured by national media, by Pat McAfee, by NFL Live, by Greeny on Wake Up ESPN.
They really did fold, didn't they?
Into trading Devontae Adams to the New York Jets.
They really got bullied into that.
They got bullied into trading Devontae Adams to the Jets for ultimately a third-round pick. Could turn to a second-round pick if he makes All-Pro or if they make the AFC Conference Championship game and or Super Bowl, obviously, in that situation.
Why can't we do it again?
Why can't we do it again?
Let's do it again.
I understand that this is not realistic. I understand that you're asking
It's a
for a
pipe
lot.
dream.
It is pipe dream.
Yeah,
Was this not that, though?
it was.
I mean, it took a little bit of time, but the constant peer pressure from media. Tom Brady's now in ownership too. They're not doing anything anytime soon. I promise you that. They're going to need some extra draft capital if they don't land the number one overall pick to get their quarterback. Can we not peer pressure the Raiders into giving up Max Crosby, allowing him to come home?
Come home.
The Eastern Michigan football field is named after him.
Yes, it is. He looks like Aidan Hutchinson grew up on 8 Mile. Like this is a guy. This is a situation where we can do it again. If we try hard enough, we literally just saw it. The national media literally bullied the Raiders into trading Devontae Adams to the Jets. We can do it again. I really think we can. This organization is such dog shit that we can do it again, and we can have Max Crosby be a Detroit Lion. We just got to keep pushing. Mina Kimes, Dan Orlovsky, Kyle Brandt, Greeny, all these guys just push the agenda. Stephen
Push
A.
it.
Smith, Pat McAfee was pushing the agenda. Adam Schefter was pushing the agenda.
Push it.
We just got to do that.
Push it real good.
It would, oh my God, dude. It would be, not only would they be the Super Bowl favorite this year if they traded for Max Crosby, they would have the
years
best
to come.
defensive line in football next year.
Oh my God! Especially
With
that re-signing
DJ Reader,
Yes.
Aidan Hutchinson, and Max Crosby. Aidan Hutchinson and Max Crosby might be the best if, again, we know it's a pipe dream, but let us dream, all right? Might be, if it happens, the best pass rushing tandem in the history of the NFL.
Dog, I don't even hate that.
I want it.
It sounds crazy,
You
but
got
like
two guys that go for 20 sacks.
it's crazy, man. And Chris, I put two things in Slack that I meant to put in earlier, but like it's another breaking news too around like NFL trades going on. This one not as big, but Amari Cooper traded to the Buffalo Bills.
Traded to the Bills.
In
Arms
response,
race.
Arms race happened in the AFC East there. But again, you look over there. Are they rebuilding? They look more down bad than the Raiders.
I would, again, these are pipe dreams to me.
Pipe dreams.
But if Myles Garrett could be available, I would cream my shorts if Myles Garrett was traded to the Detroit Lions. Even Zadarius Smith. I'd be really happy if the Lions got Zadarius Smith. That's another guy who's a big-bodied, 3-down defensive end. He plays the run well. He can play a little coverage, like drop-back zone coverage. He's got a good eye for the ball. And obviously he gets the quarterback. He's only 31 years old, I believe. That one is more realistic, is the Zadarius Smith route, which I would be happy with.
Yeah.
But if we're shoot for the moon, Myles Garrett or Max Crosby.
I am a fan of guys with big butts.
Oh, man.
Shoot for the stars and land the clouds. Look, peer pressure. Get out there on Twitter. Anytime you see a national media member mention any of those names, make sure you comment down below. Come on home. Come on home. Get the graphics going. I'll reach out to Revived. I'll reach out to whoever it is, to put Myles Garrett in that Lions jersey.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why there's not a Max Crosby black jersey at it. That I want to see that. That's very fitting. Considering it should be easy to do. I feel like I could do that one.
Do we want to?
Juan in the Woodward Sports Chat says, "Sorry, you're getting Frank Clark, brother."
I think he's a free agent. I think Frank Clark's
on the market for sure.
By the way,
bad guy.
He is a known asshole.
He has some of the most postseason sacks, I guess.
He has the most sacks in the history of the NFL postseason.
You know who's helping him?
Chris Jones.
No, Connor Stallions. Connor Stallions was prepping him week by week.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're rooming together. Yeah, you saw that?
In college?
He said
no,
it
in the pros. He didn't really have anywhere to stay. He was all about business. Honest to God.
Connor Stallions?
Detroit Lions should go out there and hire this man. I'm not going to lie to you. He is. I hope he's a Lions fan. He might work for free. He sold his house, rented out his house, lived in his car, and then when Frank and him reconnected, they'd stay with him in KC, and he'd prep him for playoff games. Every time he's got his hands closed, it's a pass rep. Every time he's doing this, it's a run rep.
Damn.
Yeah.
Psycho.
He is a psycho.
He is a psycho. I would take some psycho energy.
That's what I'm saying.
Chris, what were you going to say, though?
I was going to say, do we have to do what the heavyweights have done, successfully, mind you,
Yeah.
and start some smear campaigns? Is that what we have to do to get these guys here?
Who would
drive
we
that
smear?
value.
Yeah, but I don't know how we smear to get
Who
him
would we
here.
smear?
I mean, we have to drive the value
peer
down.
pressure.
We could drive the
We could
value
smear
down.
Yeah. What?
Nothing. Just kidding.
What?
Old game. Used to play with friends.
Rhymes with beer.
Rhymes
Yeah.
with beer.
Smear the
Soft,
ball carrier.
soft world we live in now. Yeah. But anyway, I used to destroy kids in smear the beer.
Yes.
I'll tell you that. Oh man, I used to light kids up. We used to play it because the middle school in front of my house got big long patches of grass in front of it.
Yeah.
We used to play that and kick return, where it's
Yeah.
jackpot, but you don't get any points. You just run into
In our complex,
just giving CTE to kids.
in our complex, we had an island of grass around the buildings,
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
That's what we play.
Oh, yeah,
Everybody
dude.
meet up there.
Light people up. That
Yeah.
shit was so much fun.
I
I,
remember there was
don't see kids doing that anymore. Why are kids going outside and playing violently dangerous tackle football with their friends?
They're playing Fortnite on their phones next to each other.
Yeah, they're practicing TikTok
Soft.
dances.
Yeah, soft ass kids nowadays. No,
We're
fellas,
losing
real,
recipes.
real quick, but while we're still on this is kind of a little bit of deja vu when you talk about us needing to make a trade to kind of upgrade this defense when you think about last year.
Yeah.
And this defense didn't get an upgrade last year when you want to talk about, there were defensive ends that's names were thrown out there. I wanted a corner specifically after we saw Mosley get hurt. And we kind of got burnt for not doing so in that NFC Championship game when we couldn't stop Brock Purdy in that 49ers offense when they were making their comeback run.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this is a must trade for somebody scenario for the Detroit Lions?
If you want to win the Super Bowl, if you are serious about winning the Super Bowl this year, yes, it is. You're not going to win the Super Bowl this year unless you replace at least half of the production that Aidan Hutchinson was giving you, which sounds like a low bar, but with what Aidan Hutchinson was doing, it's not. Half of the production of Aidan Hutchinson would be a Zadarius Smith or a Trayvon Walker or these guys that you hear that are more realistic that I would be extremely happy with. Even if it's not Max Crosby or Myles Garrett, I'm not going to freak out. But you need to get somebody. It's got to be somebody, and it's got to be somebody that would lead this team in sacks this year. And I saw in the Woodward Sports chat, where was it? QQWW said, smear the fear of not trading for Max Crosby. I like that. But, yeah, it's like I said, obviously we know Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, these are pipe dreams. We're allowed to make those dreams because the situations make sense, and the Lions are Super Bowl contenders right now. So we're allowed to make those dreams. I want to sell you Max Crosby. Another white, red-blooded American to fill that void Aidan Hutchinson left in your heart.
No, you're not lying, though. That's what
it's literally like a clone, but he grew up on the other side of 8 Mile. I expect them to get somebody. And like I said, whether it's Zadarius Smith or Trayvon Walker or a guy of that caliber, I would be very happy with that. Well, I would be very happy with that.
They did.
If it's Myles Garrett or Max Crosby, I'd be walking with a limp. Like, hey, dude.
Is somebody fucking you?
Pimp, walk with a limp.
They did sign a legendary name. Isaiah Thomas.
They signed Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas is back in Detroit. No, he is in Detroit for the first time. Defensive end. Played with the Browns in 2022. Played like 10 games. Never started any. Had 1 sack and a couple pass deflections. But I'm kind of with you, Spinny. And I know we're going up against it in break, but like I have a whole breakdown on that one. Just a little bit of one, because I can see the Detroit Lions still having success. Obviously, without Aidan Hutchinson, I think there's a team all around. But I'm not in the camp of the people who think there's just one individual who's, floated down from heaven to grace this team. It's been a collaborative effort across the board. This year, we deemed it as Super Bowl bust.
They all did. From Sheila Ford Hamp to Brad Holmes to Dan Campbell to the players, every single one of them said Super Bowl.
So if you mean that,
yep,
you have to do something here, in my opinion. I mean, I understand wanting to see what you got in this Minnesota Vikings game, and maybe even the game after that too.
Yeah, I don't expect it to happen this week.
Yeah, but like for me, there's just so much to go into it. Let's touch on when we come back from break, because it goes down from scheme, goes down from just what you saw of this team last year. There's so many ways to look at it. I know some people talking about the first round picks and they don't want to give up. Who did you guys say during BD?
Terrion, and lose the ability to sign Lee McNeil.
We'll talk about it when we get back.
Yeah, I'd do that in a heartbeat. I love Lee McNeil. I'd do it in a heartbeat, because that means next year you got Aidan Hutchinson, DJ Reader, and Max Crosby. I could play that other defensive tackle position, and it would be the best defensive line in football.
That's the other part of it. Okay.
Wingo.
Yeah.
You got Wingo. You got Levi. You can re-sign
B-Rod.
Re-sign Pecco after he's back. Like, you wouldn't need another big name when you have 3 defensive linemen that are capable of being all pros.
We'll get on when we get back, but first tell us about Feldman Chevrolet.
Feldman Chevrolet. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. And catch Woodward Sports Network live from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi every other Monday. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
And let me tell you about New Holland Brewing Company. That taller long drink is the best in the game. It's made with the single batch Dutch gin that New Holland has in a real grapefruit puree, locally sourced, delicious beverage. Make sure you check it out while you can. It is the taller long drink from New Holland Brewing.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Watch party, the live watch party at Hayes Social. Also, the post-game show. We're doing Lions coverage better than anybody. Make sure you tune in. You can come out and join us. It was a blast last time. Baby B was in the house.
Shout out.
My mom was in the house. Easy pawned his child off to my mom so he could watch sport. Yeah,
she loved it.
She's in grandma mode.
Yeah, she was having a blast.
Full grandma.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Make sure you tap into the live watch party and the post-game show live at Hayes Social, presented by New Holland Brewing Company, Sabbath Coffee Roasters, Soroki Crispy Chicken and Pizza, and 1800 Tequila.
What up, welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodSports.com. I'm boy Easy, joined by Spimo Raxter,
What up,
Chris,
dude?
Nicholas Kohloff. Be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream. It's Hot Dog Boy today. I gotta quit saying Nicholas Kohloff.
Glizzy boy.
Glizzy boy. You guys know I get in my rhythm. With
Little
those
glizzy boy.
You guys are ridiculous.
All right. It's time to have some grown-up conversations about this Detroit Lions team.
Yes.
And moving forward. Actually, first and foremost, we all want Max Crosby. I think, like Neil going against the grain there and saying that he didn't, if we had that trade go through today and they acquired Max Crosby,
They'd be
he'd be in that fucking
favorite.
chair celebrating Brad Holmes out there butt-ass naked streaking with his fucking face painted on him. Like
Yes.
he'd be all about it. He'd be all about it.
They would be the Super Bowl favorite tomorrow if they traded for Max Crosby today.
However, this is what Dan Campbell had to say this morning when asked the subject matter, what type of guy they'd be looking to acquire.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Look, I honestly, I think if anything, you're looking for really a role player, somebody I think that can set an edge, that can transition into rush. It doesn't have to be somebody. I mean, look, as you guys know, these elite rushers and edge setters and all that don't just fall off trees, you know. And or if they do, then you're going to have to sell the farm to get them. But I do think there could be some guys out there, man, that'll fit into what we're doing defensively. They can serve a role. They can help maybe supplement some of what's going on inside with what we got with Mack and Levi and Reeder and those guys. And I think more than anything, you're looking for at least a complementary piece.
Oh, it's interesting. And that's what we're saying. Like we know Max Crosby is a long shot. We know Myles Garrett is a long shot. But we've talked about other guys, and the one that speaks out to me the most is Zadarius Smith. Based on his age, he's been around the league for a while, so these guys know him. They've played against him multiple times. The coaching staff knows him. And he is on a team that is selling, on a team that is on the road to nowhere, and the car is driven by a sex offender. Like, the Browns are...
Stephen Kwan at the wheel?
The Browns are a failing ship. And they might not be in the business of trading Myles Garrett, which they are. If they are, you got to ask about him. But 100% Zadarius Smith is a guy they'd be willing to part with. And he would be perfect. He would be perfect, honestly. You put him opposite Josh Pascal. This is a guy, like I said, he can set the edge. He's good in the run game as well as being a good pass rusher. I think he would be a great fit.
I want to play the game Unky Neil likes to play when it's convenient for him. When he wants to talk about cutting guys for $4 million worth of savings, but praises the Jared Goff contract and all that good stuff. Let's play the numbers game. Let's play by the field he goes on. Spot track. Their Twitter account today posted what the cap hits would be if you acquired Max Crosby, which the Detroit Lions can afford. His cap hit after a trade would be $17 million.
Oh, Lions cap space.
Oh, this is devoted after Detroit. This is after acquiring Max Crosby.
Yeah.
You would still have $17 million available, if not mistaken.
This year?
Yes.
After a potential trade. So it would only cost you $17 million on the books this year. According to this devoted Detroit, but we also have Spot Track one too. We won't put that one up for the Max Crosby. This is just the numbers year by year. So devoted Detroit, not far off. I know some people use over the cap, some people use Spot Track, but according to Spot Track, it'd be 16.8 guaranteed this year. The Lions currently have $28 million available. We have the money.
Yes, we do.
The following year, 23.1. The year after that, 2026, 19 points. You can afford this deal.
You can afford that deal for sure.
This doesn't break you on the books.
No.
Those aren't. The $30 million is a new acquisition for these guys. If you're signing them in free agency, if you re-sign them right away.
That's the crazy part about Myles Garrett and Max Crosby, is that they're both top 5 players at their position. They're both on teams that are going nowhere this year and actively selling their best players. They both just traded their wide receiver ones. And they're both affordable, which is why they're going to cost more. They're going to cost. It is going to be a deal that you would see probably multiple first-round picks go. And some people are not comfortable with that. But adding either one of these two guys who are in their prime, a top 5 player at a position of need, and on affordable deals for a couple of years, that's why we talk about it, because it's very possible.
If you want to play the money game, it's right there.
And one of the biggest things about it is easy. Everyone says, oh, you got to keep your homegrown talent. You got to keep your elite homegrown talent. Aidan Hutchinson's deal runs out right when that contract's up.
Boom.
Right when Crosby's out. Oh, and what, you want to have just the 1 year with them? Then you can move Crosby if you want really that bad to regain some capital.
Yeah, not
you
a
need
chance,
him
though.
now and then Hutch for next year. But I'm saying you have the ability to still do that. You're not closed into any sort of box here by giving up 2 future first-rounders for these elite guys. The sky's the limit on what you can do with this team. And like I said, Hutch's rookie deal is up right when Crosby's deal would be done here in Detroit from what the contract he's on right now.
If you trade for Max Crosby this year, like I said, you become the favorite for the Super Bowl as soon as he touches down in Detroit. And then next year, you are the overwhelming favorite to win the Super Bowl.
Brother, all your key pieces
are locked down.
Yeah.
You're signed them all.
Ali McNeil's maybe the only one. Kirby Joseph, no, he's part of the same class as Hutch, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got 2 years still.
Like, you got these guys, everyone's locked down, strapped down, and you can still manipulate the cap where it benefits you. Just real quick, one more thing. This is the fucking year, guys.
It is.
I know we like to think that there's just one individual for some reason that just came down and blessed his team. That's not the case. This is a collective.
It's the team.
A guy that's a huge part of this, a guy you just watched Tom Brady, the guy with 7 Super Bowl rings, said he loved to play for this offense. You know who runs that offense? A guy named Ben Johnson.
Yep.
I can't guarantee that he's here next year.
Nope.
We can't.
No, you can't.
And you see the complicated stuff that's getting ran out there. The next guy up, sure, he might be good. He might be serviceable. I can't guarantee you that he's doing that shit.
Nope.
The shit that's talking about a guy in a booth with 7 Super Bowl rings, retired, talking about, damn, I'd love to run that offense.
Yes.
You can't promise that's going to be here. I can't guarantee you the odds, the health, everything else is going to be here next year to repeat this Super Bowl. I don't care what one first-round pick you have to use.
Yes.
A rookie's most likely not going to contribute to you winning that Super Bowl. This year, yeah, it has to, but as a circumstance situation, we don't have another cornerback to start there. Terrion is very much viewed as a prospect that needs to grow, and I think we're watching him grow throughout this season. We see that he doesn't play the ball. We know that he can grow into a superstar. He's not drafted as a superstar. This is the year. It's boom or bust. You saw it work with the Rams. You saw it work with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There's no reason not to do this unless you're just, in a way, and I hate to say it, like arrogant.
Yes.
Or if you just want to see it play out. And I understand I want to see it play out for 2 weeks, but like there's no turning your nose at this.
I can tell you right now.
You're knocking at the door right the fuck now.
I can tell you right now with wholeheartedness, like what we talked about on BDE, those 2 first-round picks that Neil mentioned, which was just, a rough estimate. Neither one of those guys will be better than Max Crosby. I promise. I promise you that. I love Brad Holmes and the way he drafts. Those late 20 first-round picks, neither of those guys are going to turn out to be better than Max Crosby. He is a superstar in the NFL. And Ali McNeil, I do love him. He's a great player. I'm a big fan of his. Sorry, man.
But you don't even have to give up Ali McNeil. Keep
well,
Ali
yeah,
McNeil.
no, you won't be able to re-sign him. It was the thing.
I think you could. I mean, according by the numbers, you would have that 20 extra million. Could we put up one more time with Max Crosby just the following year? And by the way, too, you know how these you can stretch it out. You void years. Like,
and again, it's a descending deal.
And you could have Jared Goff restructure and free up some money. You could have Amon-Ra St. Brown or Penny Sewell.
$59 million. Yes, we could.
Yeah, you could.
You can afford to make this happen, and you cash in a Super Bowl this year.
And the cap's going to keep going up.
Listen, I fully understand, and I love the pump-up speech that Dan Campbell gave this morning when he was like, you don't think we can do it without him? Like, we might as well, call it in right now. Just call it a season. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And I understand that's not what they're going to do. I understand they bred this team to compete this entire offseason. But just the thing for me, when I get down to like the X and O's of it even, you can't play as much man coverage as AG plays if you don't have a pass rush. This defense, I believe, outside of Aidan Hutchinson at the edge position, has only generated like 7 pressures. I could be mistaken on that one. But you just got to change your entire philosophy, and I think they finally found a groove in that man coverage with these cornerbacks. And we're talking about Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph being 2 top 10 safeties right now. Per PFF, if you want to get down and be a nerd about it, I think Kirby's 7th and Brian Branch is 8th. 2 top 10 guys right now. And I think it has to do a little bit of that system. You have to change things around. And can it work? Yes, but doesn't guarantee the Super Bowl. That's the other thing, too. People say, can you guarantee? Can you guarantee me they win a Super Bowl if not?
No.
You can't. But can I guarantee the odds are increased if you do make that move? Yes, I could. Absolutely, I could.
And Detroit Supremacy is in here talking about a sustainable run, and apparently trading Max Crosby means this team where the best pieces already all have signed. Your pillars, your quarterback, your left tackle, your wide receiver have signed. You've got 2 rookie cornerbacks who you want to be the future. So those guys are on 4- and 5-year rookie deals. You've got Aidan Hutchinson, who's on a deal, which we just showed you the money he's going to be able to get re-signed, and add 3 years of Max Crosby into the middle of that. If that doesn't mean sustained success to you, then you're an idiot flat out. Because that would be injecting this team with being the Super Bowl favorite 2 years in a row while having your foundation set already.
Everyone else is sustained.
Everyone else I don't understand why every year you guys are so scared and act like such bitches with shit like this. Like you wouldn't want Max Crosby for 3 years while you have the money to re-sign the guys you need? Are you that worried about losing an Ali McNeil if it means you win a Super Bowl? Because you're not going to lose an Aidan Hutchinson because of it. You see how the contracts worked out. He'll be able to get signed. You already have your 3 most important offensive players set. Your cornerbacks are both rookies. Your safeties rookie contracts won't be up until Max Crosby is off the books already.
Jack Campbell, Alex Anzalone.
So if you're really that worried about losing, those guys, I don't understand.
They're all under contract.
It doesn't make sense.
They're all under contract. You're not sacrificing anything by making this move outside of just giving the picks up. And at this point, if you're projecting to be what you're projected to be, those are second-round picks, and you gave that up to move up to get Terry on this year alone. You gave up a first-round pick and a third-round pick to grab a rookie quarterback this year. And you're telling me you wouldn't throw another first round in the same transaction to get fucking Max Crosby?
Yeah, and again,
you're out of your mind.
Detroit Supremacy says bye-bye to Hutch, JMO, Gibbs, Laporta, etc.
Put the numbers up one more time.
They would all still be on rookie contracts while Max Crosby is here. And when Max Crosby leaves, that's when their contracts go up. So that's when you re-sign them, after their contract is up.
That's when $77 million.
Yeah, it's all right.
Lions fans need to realize
he needs something to hold on to make himself feel like it's a bad move.
Ready for this one? Get that sound out of your head.
Yeah.
Because that's no longer your Super Bowl. You're staring down an actual Super Bowl. This draft is not the best day of the year anymore for you Lions fans. Everybody is acting scared right now and thinking about draft day. I'm willing to give up a day for a lifetime of celebrating a goddamn ring.
Yeah, I don't
stop that. And plus, Brad Holmes drafts elite in the later rounds. We need to stop holding on to a first-round pick in a draft where it's going to be one night of celebrating. Oh, you want to watch their highlights? We've all been there, but you can watch the Super Bowl game highlight tape for the rest of your goddamn life.
Yeah, especially if Brad is who you know he is.
Yes.
He hits in those late rounds. Brian Branch, contributing piece, second-round pick. Sam Laporta, contributing piece, second-round pick. Kirby Joseph, third-round pick. Ali McNeil, third-round pick. What are we doing, guys?
Yeah. Like Nick said, your Super Bowl is no longer the draft. Like, we're not worried, but we got to do something good for the draft. No, our Super Bowl is the Super Bowl. That's what we're looking for. Nobody remembers where they were draft night. Nobody remembers where they were when this guy got drafted in the first round. You'll remember where you were when the Detroit Lions win a Super Bowl. That's more important now. We're sitting at the big boy table. We're not fawning over first round picks. We're fawning over guys helping us win Super Bowls.
We all are on the same page here, but the one thing I will point out is that goes with that conversation is I think fans are looking at it differently. They're looking at it from a fear perspective, but just historically, like Brad Holmes' DNA as a GM, he hasn't yet made these moves. Now, you can definitely argue that they weren't in the position that they're in right now, and that's why I'm in the camp of make the big splash. But I am very curious to see, because this is it. Like, if he doesn't make this big splash now, then I, as a Detroit Lions fan going forward, am never expecting that. Every offseason, every trade deadline, I am not circling the biggest name on the block, the biggest name, the biggest cachet. I'm not looking at Brad Holmes getting that if they don't do it this year. And that's fine, because look at the roster he's dug up this way. If you want to split your atoms and get multiple defensive edge rushers that can kind of help fill the void of Aidan Hutchinson, that's fine. But as far as this is the last time to make a big transaction. Otherwise, I'm never expecting it from Brad Holmes. Never.
And WeezyD313 says, Mad Max was a 4th-round pick that developed into this. Brad can find one of them. We need one right now. We need one right now to win a Super Bowl this year. Right now. This is our time. You heard Sheila Fordham. You heard Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell, Aidan Hutchinson, Jared Goff. They talk Super Bowl. I'm not in the business of that. I'm in the business of getting an elite edge rusher in this NFL and winning the Super Bowl this year, which the Lions would be favored to if they got Max Crosby.
Guys that help, even Brad Holmes, are getting recruited and hired by other organizations. You just lost one of them to the Commanders. And the Commanders look pretty good this year. You're talking about losing Ben Johnson. Mike Dizer's being recruited across the league. Like, even your position coaches. Mike, we almost lost Haley this year.
Yeah.
Your vaunted offensive line coach.
Yes.
Like, it's Dan Campbell last year when they lost in that NFC Conference Championship game, told you then and there, like, we can't guarantee we're going to be here again. This may be the only opportunity we got. And you're going to lose more and more and more of this. That's made it. It's not all one piece. It's not Jared Goff.
Yeah.
It's a collaborative effort across the board, from the front office down, and you can't guarantee any of these guys are going to be here next year.
And Ryan Lentz, our guy in the back, made a very good point that I'm going to steal from him when we come back from break. But first, let me tell you about Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Fuel your Lions fandom with a perfect cup and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you're gearing up for the big game or savoring a quiet morning, Sabbath Coffee Roasters has you covered with fresh, locally roasted specialty coffee delivered right to your door. Head to SabbathCoffeeRoasters.com. Choose your favorite roast. Use code word Woodward to get 25% off your first subscription order. Awake, unwind, support local, and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. And let me tell you about Caesars Sportsbook. $1,000 in a free bet, up to $1,000 with code word Woodward1000. Scan that QR code and your first bet, minimum $25, up to $1,000, will be refunded in bonus bets if it doesn't cash. So make sure you go to Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use code word Woodward1000, and you can get up to $1,000 as a free bet for your first bet.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports. Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Guys, I cannot believe this is going on. I just signed up yesterday. I got to have my mom and everybody else sign up too. I'm not even joking. Free bud, free weed, free reefer, free whatever you call it for an entire
wacky
tobacco. Wacky tobacco. Scan the QR code and apply right now. Terms and conditions do apply. It's free weed for your dispo dispensary. Shout out your local campus plug. Buongiorno, welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. Smash that like button, be a friend, tell a friend, and share the stream. Spinny, you're about to steal a take, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Before we went to break.
First of all, shout out to our guy SC Doug for having these lanterns made for us. He made them by hand and mailed them to us. He's a guy who listens all the way from South Carolina, supports the boys. So shout out to him. They're very cool. Can't wait to take them home and light them up. But we're obviously talking about the situation. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to Woodward Sports.
I'm going to send a couple pictures and stuff.
The Browns and the Raiders both selling wide receivers today. Literally today. Devontae Adams and Amari Cooper. Obviously, we know the Lions are in the market for an edge rusher. They need to replace someone, or they need to bring in someone to replace some of the production that Aidan Hutchinson was giving you if they're trying to make the Super Bowl this year. And a lot of fans are freaking out, clutching their pearls a little bit, not wanting to give up these draft picks in compensation for one of these guys, which it is going to take a toll. You're going to have to see probably at least 2 first-round picks if you want to get one of these guys. I am 100% on board with it because I want to win a Super Bowl. And if you get Myles Garrett or Max Crosby on this team, I believe you are the Super Bowl favorite. Ryan Lentz, our guy in the back, the graphics and editing guy, he makes all our great thumbnails. Ryan's the man. He made a point that people are so scared of it to give up these first-round picks, and we're in a position where first-round picks might have trouble starting on this team nowadays.
Yeah.
And it's realistic when you look at it. I don't think anybody you would bring in with either of these first-round picks would ever be as good as Max Crosby to start off. And secondly, I'm okay with it because unlike you guys, I believe in Brad Holmes. So when you don't have the first-round picks but you need to fill spots on the roster, I believe in Brad Holmes drafting later-round talent to develop to put in there. Like next year, if you do make this trade and you have DJ Reader, Max Crosby, and Aidan Hutchinson, no offense given, I could give a shit less if Aleem McNeil is the 4th defensive lineman on that roster. Obviously, I would love for it to be that case because he's very talented. But when you have those 3 guys, you could put Chris as that other defensive tackle, and you'd still have the best defensive line in the NFL. I believe in Brad Holmes in getting pieces without those first-round picks. Where Neil said, I believe in Brad Holmes. He's the guy that flipped this roster. Correct. Flipped. Past tense. The roster is flipped. You don't have to flip it again with more first-round picks. You need to replace your defensive player of the year while you're trying to win the Super Bowl this season right now. You are in the heat of a Super Bowl race, and you just lost the best player on your team for the year. A first-round pick isn't going to save you right now. Future first-round pick isn't going to save you right now. Max Crosby would save you right now. Again, we know this is a pipe dream, and I don't expect it to happen. But people sitting here saying they wouldn't want it to happen are lying to themselves. If Max Crosby was announced as the Detroit Lion tomorrow, you would shit your pants and scream down the street. You'd be so happy. So don't sit here and clutch your pearls when this guy could deliver a Lombardi trophy to Detroit. We don't need 2 first-round picks to develop in a couple years. We need one guy to replace some of the production your defensive player of the year would have to hoist a Lombardi trophy this season.
Oh, it's interesting.
I said it yesterday. If you don't replace Aidan Hutchinson in some way from an outside source, you're not going to win the Super Bowl. If you replace him with Max Crosby, you win. If you replace him with a Zadarius Smith or a Trayvon Walker or any of these other lower tier guys, I would still be very happy and I would still like our chances a lot. But acting like Max Crosby would be the worst thing to happen and no, we need to keep making these first round picks because maybe they'll be good in 3 years. No, we know he's good now. We should win the Super Bowl this year and he would help that.
It's the part that's silly for me. I'm not losing faith. I'm just saying, if you wanna hammer that in, if you wanna lock that down, if you wanna do the fuck them picks, it was rewarded. Tampa Bay gave up a lot of assets to go get Tom Brady and everybody else along with it. They were rewarded with the Super Bowl. They went and grabbed the pieces, the X and O's and the Joes. You already done this before though too. When you talk about the first round picks, you've already drafted. Terrion Arnold didn't fall to you at, where were we at, 29? I think last year. No, You moved up to 23.
Moved up and got him.
What'd you give up, Sweeney? Your first-round pick and a third-round pick. You gave up already half of what you need to do to go get Max Crosby. To get a guy that you're not going to get the final product of in that same year.
Jamison Williams.
Jamison Williams. You gave up pick 32, pick 34, and pick 66 to go acquire Jamison Williams. We haven't seen the return of that until the NFC Conference Championship last year, and now this year too. I'm not sitting around waiting for guys to develop as we're losing pieces of our coaching staff, pieces of our front office, pro personnel, scouts, because we're just doing so well. I'm not going to sit around and wait for that to be poached. Cash in now. I have no issue with that. Again, haven't lost faith. Still think it's going to be a good team. I still think we have the odds to go to the NFC Conference Championship again. I just want to win the Super Bowl because I can't guarantee you a lot of pieces that helping us get there now are going to be there next year. And Ben Johnson being the key one. And I've been preaching that for 2-3 years now.
And, trolls are out in the chat like they usually are. And Wilson, who is a respected member of the Woodward Sports Chat, says, Spenny, you said Lions wouldn't win a playoff game unless they traded for Chase Young. LMAO.
He did not say that.
No, I said they wouldn't win the Super Bowl, which they didn't.
And guess who won the Super Bowl? Chase Young.
Yeah.
Crazy.
He played in the Super Bowl.
Key third down stop.
Yeah. Extremely important.
Or win to the Super Bowl? I didn't say win to the Super Bowl. If I said won, I apologize.
And when you want to talk about sitting and waiting around, you think about the way that Brad Holmes has drafted. He doesn't just sit and wait around in these later rounds either. You think about a couple of years ago, he traded in the division to go out and get a guy in Brian Branch in the second round who is, he was up there with Hutchinson right now to be the best defender on this team. He's an absolute game changer. When did you get him? In the second round after not, sitting and waiting for him. You went up and traded up for an elite guy in Brian Branch in the second round. I trust Brad to do that again if you do need to fill a hole for maybe a Ragnow that retires one day. You saw a guy like Creed Humphrey go in the later rounds to a guy like the Kansas City Chiefs, a team in the Chiefs. I think we've seen Brad Holmes get an all-pro in the second round in Sam Laporta. You've seen him go and get Ali McNeil in the third round when you want to talk about you might have to replace a guy in Ali McNeil. Well, Brad got him in the third round. And I think that he will be able to do it again because I have faith in the way he drafts, where I am not determined to keep these first-round picks. If you can go out and get an elite guy to help you for this year and the next 2 years, I think it's a no-brainer in my eyes if that trade is actually on the table.
Yeah. Like I said, if they go with a guy like Zadarius Smith or Trayvon Walker or the second-tier guys, I would be extremely happy. You have to do that at the bare minimum. Like I said, the leader in sacks on this team can't be on this team right now. You need to go out. You need to get someone who can sack the quarterback at a high level. I am willing to admit that Myles Garrett and Max Crosby are pipe dreams, but they're not out of the question. And if you think they should be out of the question, I don't know what's going on.
For me, and again, it even goes on to an X and O's point, and which again we'll see throughout the weeks. And I'm cool to wait that out, and I'm sure they are as well. But this is a heavy man coverage scheme based around getting pressure at the quarterback. I think we get interior pressure. I don't think we've seen it at a consistent rate. I think Ali McNeil kind of dropped the ball against Seattle, but you saw him there against the Cowboys, although they had a rookie center and whatnot.
Let him cook.
And Cooper Beebe, but we can't run that man coverage defense that has only let up one touchdown on end zone targets. One touchdown end zone targets, 5 interceptions. Yeah, you understand that Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph are allowed to roam freely and do what they do back there because of the pressure, because of the man coverage. They have to come out and help at that point. We move the zone. They have assignments. They have to be in certain places, Brian Branch specifically. I just don't know what the defense looks like moving forward. Again, we're a good team. The Detroit Lions are a damn good team. It's just if we don't cash it in this year and you lose Ben Johnson, I don't know that we're there
That's
again.
That's a big hit, man. That's a big hit. And Steve Wilds, I saw people mentioning Reddick. That is something that he is granted permission by the Eagles to search to find a trade. They're not going to sign Reddick. You got to sign him to a fat deal for him to even show up to practice. That's not going to happen.
Not a Campbell guy.
We do got to go to break, though. Let me tell you guys about Lady Jane's. Walk in today, Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a $20 haircut special. Comes with a scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, a hot towel treatment, from one of our talented stylists. Take advantage of our $20 haircut special. You can scan that QR code in the corner to get your coupon right now. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
And you want to know where the best pregame Lions party is October 27th? Join us at Detroit's very own second best bar located at 42 Watson Street for the ultimate fan experience. Enjoy some smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching the Woodward Sports pregame show. Only at second best bar in Detroit. Come get some.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Thought about volunteering but don't know where to start? Start with the Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign. Visit registerthering.com to sign up for shifts. You have an option to choose between a 2-hour shift as a physical Red Kettle site or participate in virtual bell ringing shift to raise funds for the comfort of your own home. Virtual bell ringers can begin in raising funds at any time, but traditional bell ringers begin November 7th and it runs through Christmas Eve, excluding Thanksgiving and Sundays. To sign up for shifts again, that's registerthering.com.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Rip.
What up, though? Welcome back to Whatever Waits Live, WoodwardSports.com. My boy Easy, Joe, my guy, Spin More Raxter.
What up,
Chris,
though?
Nicholas Kohloff. Smash that like button, be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream. Just kind of moving along the headlines. We talked about the Max Crosby one because I think that's the one everybody wants most. One that I think could be more realistic is Myles Garrett. And it's the same conversation there. It makes sense. If it's available to you, if the Browns are willing to do it, do it. But another one that people are talking about is Haason Reddick.
Yeah.
He signed to the super agent, Drew Rosenhaus, and they've been granted permission to seek out a trade. I'm kind of keeping the same narrative on that one. Brad either likes to acquire guys already under control, contractual control, or future pieces he could draft and then have another contract control. This guy, the re-sign, he has no history or ties to the team, either defensive coordinators or players. I just don't see that being a thing, guys. I don't.
I'm not saying I wouldn't like Haason Reddick on this team. I would 100. You could put Haason Reddick in that Sam role, and have Pascal and Levi as your defensive edges, and then have Haason Reddick just crushing the quarterback. Yeah, I would love that. That would be awesome. But like Easy said, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit what these guys like. It doesn't fit what they want in a player, in his personality, in his versatility. Haason Reddick, very skilled at getting to the quarterback. There's no doubt there, but doesn't really fit this team.
And Kirby Joseph's on a contract through 2025. To whoever just said that in the Woodward Sports chat, kind of missed the name there.
2025, Kirby Joseph.
2025. Yeah, I mean, again, not opposed to it. I just don't. That's like the most unrealistic one to me.
Yeah, he's already lost so much money this season. Do you think that he gets to a point where he just wants to get paid for this year on a prove-it deal? He hasn't done that yet with the Jets, but if he does get moved and he were to play on this deal that he's on, what would you guys be willing to give up for a Reddick?
It would be something low. It'd be fifth round, fifth maybe
for the next 10 games. You get him,
5th, 6th round pick, nothing crazy. If he said, I'll just play this year, I'll play. Like, I just want to play. Fuck yeah, I'll give you a 5th round pick for Haason Reddick. But I highly doubt that's the truth. Like, he's already pushed his chips basically to the middle of the table. I doubt he just pulls them back now.
Yeah, Hunter, you're a piece of shit. I mean, that's not what I said. That's not the context of anything. I don't know who keeps fucking allowing you back on chat, but I appreciate they fucking stop. Sick of the harassment and lies. I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Most annoying shit in the world. But, yeah, Steinbeck, probably not one. I did hear that, obviously, Brad Holmes was contacted, and maybe it is a thing. Maybe that is the most realistic one because there's with the Raiders situation and maybe in the Cleveland Browns situation, they kind of know they got your balls by the hand. Talking about those organizations. With the Jets, it's not because you gave up assets for him, and now you're looking to recoup. Because the season expires, you got him for nothing. You acquired him for literally nothing. You gave up assets to get this guy.
They got to get something for him.
You got to get something for him. So that's kind of more of a equal situation. I just don't see it. The other guys are in the contract. Like I said, this guy, you have to re-up. And these new pass rusher contracts or edge rusher contracts are not the $23 million you have Max Crosby for.
Yeah.
It's the $30 million.
Yeah.
$29, I'm saying it's a lot more.
I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up in San Francisco or somewhere like that. You know, they've been known to take a flyer on a guy if they see the potential upside. That's not the situation we're in. No, I doubt Reddick would be there.
Yeah, I'm not. That's not what I'm looking at. Myles Garrett, though, Spinny. Defensive Player of the Year last year, if I'm not mistaken. Reigning defending.
Yes. Was he?
I think so. Is he higher, lower, or equal to Max Crosby?
Equal
for
to.
you?
It's the same. If you can get either one of those, like I said, you're probably talking about the three best edge rushers in football when you talk about Aidan Hutchinson, Max Crosby, and Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would not be like, oh darn, we didn't get Max Crosby, we only got Myles Garrett. Damn it, Brad. No, like that would be fucking awesome if you could go out there and get Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett,
I think he plays the run better.
He plays the run much better than Max Crosby. He is a complete defensive end. He is exactly what they would want. He's obviously a very, very violent player out there on the field. You know,
Yeah.
don't put a helmet in his hands. But he would fit this team so well. He would fit what Aaron Glenn likes to do. The grit and the toughness and the violence that Aaron Glenn says he wants to play with.
Yeah.
Remember, his first interview after he got the DC job, he said, I want to make football violent again. Well, we know Max Crosby likes to be violent out there. And like I said, he's been, a top 3 edge in the NFL for the past 5 years. So, yeah, I would be head over heels if they got Myles Garrett.
Yeah, I think, to be honest with you, that might even be, in that clubhouse, the reigning #1 candidate, if they were looking to make that blue chip acquisition. I don't know that they are, based on what Dan Campbell said. He could be trolling too, though. You know how Dan Campbell does.
Yeah.
But I think his ability to play the run, the fact, obviously Max, you have to tune in for too, but he's just an absolute fucking wrecking ball of a fucking human being.
He is.
He had a blocked
The same
or
thing
field goal, I should say.
that Myles Garrett and Aidan Hutchinson and Max Crosby do is like what Chris Fetter wanted with his pitchers. Just chaos. They go out there and they wreak havoc. They beat plays. They blow plays up in the backfield. They get to the quarterback. They are, like I said, those are the 3 best edge rushers in football in my mind. And, yeah, if you could get one of those guys to replace and then pair with Aidan Hutchinson the next season, I think that's a no-brainer. But like I said, I doubt it. I doubt it's going to happen.
What do you guys think about the idea of if you can't get Garrett because Cleveland is going to, given their situation of how they just completely mortgaged their future with Deshaun Watson, and that situation isn't going anywhere, that they are going to be more likely, in my opinion, to kind of squeeze every asset out of a trade versus Las Vegas. Even though both teams have players that are on pretty much equal value, I would feel like Cleveland would be the harder team to negotiate with.
I think it's the other way around personally because Cleveland's in a more dire spot than Las Vegas is. Like, they know it's going to take a lot for Myles Garrett to re-sign with them after his contract is up because of what they are as a franchise and how tied they are to Deshaun Watson. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. Unless they just eat the biggest contract in the history of the NFL and kick him out. No one is trading for Deshaun Watson.
No.
You don't have any first-round picks because you moved all of them to get Deshaun Watson. I think they are in a much more desperate situation than the Raiders are. They both proved they're selling by trading their wide receiver 1.
Don't they have their pick this year, though, Cleveland?
I think this is the first pick they've had in like 3 years.
They have their pick.
Yeah, 1st and 3.
And I don't know how much say that the head coach has in Stefanski, but
Clearly
he's in a
not.
situation where your job's kind of on the line. You know what I'm saying?
If
you're
he had
forced to
say-
start this guy. You had Joe Flacco carry you to the playoffs last year. You had to let him go because of the ego issue with Deshaun Watson and not want to have him in that same locker room.
Oh, you got to start. You have to start.
They're stuck. So if I'm you could do this like the Jimmy G situation or like the same way we've seen Trent Dilfer drag the Super Bowls. Like, sir, make a fucking super team. They have to sacrifice Myles Garrett to do so. I mean, it is what it is, my guy. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, he might be part of that super team, but just give him up.
He's
he's got foot issues coming up anyway.
The Lions, I would be comfortable saying they would win back-to-back Super Bowls if they made one of these deals. And it's not even crazy to say.
I'm not crazy.
Crazy. I was crazy once.
And here, I guess looking at this too, and Nick, we had this conversation when you were up here, not in a hot dog suit.
Looking normal.
But we talked about the
seen that in a
defensive
while.
lines. I mean, the characteristics of Super Bowl champion teams.
Yeah.
Those defensive lines have been dominant. Whether as recently as Aaron Donald, Chris Jones. Right now on this team,
You don't really have that guy.
you don't.
Without Aidan Hutchinson was like I said, he was your best player. He is the best player on this team. He would have won Defensive Player of the Year running away this year. He was first in every stat you want a pass rusher to be first in. He provides so much outside of just the numbers, getting sacks, blowing plays up, forcing double teams, forcing game plans to go one way or another because of where he is. You just can't replace that with Levi Onwuzurike and Josh Pascal. You just can't.
You talk about Patrick Mahomes just revisiting that Super Bowl, cashing those rings every single time, and he is a huge part of it, but so is Chris Jones. I mean, look at this history of Super Bowl champions right now, as we did with Nick the other day too. Chris Jones with Kansas City Chiefs. You had Aaron Donald. Tampa Bay had a plethora of guys.
Shaq Barrett had 17.5 sacks that season.
Shaq Barrett, Jason Pierre-Paul, Golson.
Yeah, what's
Sue.
his name?
Vita Vea.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? New England obviously had Chandler Jones on that one too. Philadelphia, Brandon Graham. Fucking who else was on that one? Chris Long.
Fletcher Cox.
New England again. Another Chandler Jones. Hassan Reddick. It's a great point too. Denver, Carolina. Denver, Von Miller.
You have to get after quarterback.
Seattle Seahawks. Cliff Averill. Michael Bennett. Fuck, dude. I've been saying I'm comfortable, moving forward without Hutch.
No.
Revisiting that conversation, I'm not as comfortable.
Like I said, you need to replace his production, at least half of his production. Obviously, you could do what we want and go for the whole kit and caboodle with Crosby or Garrett, but I'm big enough to say that that's probably not going to happen. But you have to get somebody. You have to get somebody that can at least get you 10 sacks this year.
And you talk about the top teams in the AFC that you're going to be going up against. Or if we're talking about the Super Bowl, which we are here, you think about a Mahomes, you think about a Lamar Jackson, you think about a CJ Stroud. You need to get those guys off of their spot. Obviously, Lamar is just a different animal. But I think, obviously, you just need to get that end. And we lost it in Hutch. But let's not act like this is just a one-year thing here. If you go out and get one of these elite guys, you now have the best pairs of defensive ends in the whole entire world, honestly.
Yeah.
And it just becomes you're the favorite for the next 2 to 3 seasons.
Yeah, like I said, you'd be the overwhelming favorite next year if you do that. We do got to go to break. We're going to talk a little offense coming up next because the offense looked pretty damn good. But Michael King said, we are ignoring Isaiah Thomas. Yes, we are ignoring Isaiah Thomas.
Michael King.
Tell us about 1800.
What are we
1800 tequila is the best tequila in the game. It's the official tequila of Woodward Sports Lions watch parties and post-game show. You can catch that live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township. Celebrate those wins with that smooth 1800 tequila, the proud sponsor of your Detroit Lions. Please drink responsibly.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
To prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness, we're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza now has signature wings for limited time only. They're perfect for football season. They got 7 different flavors. My favorite flavor is the spicy garlic. Make sure you get some of these while you still can. They are chef's kiss. To find them near you, go to Sorokis.com. Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza. Now that's crispy. Burn in the Woodward Sports Chat.
Burn.
The issue is our first round picks are expected to be closer to second round picks, so we'll need to find a really stupid team. Cough, Cleveland, cough. Exactly. Cleveland and the Raiders. 2 terrible franchises.
Dummies.
Willing to be taken advantage of. Like
one might even
Deshaun
say
Watson.
big fat.
Yes. One might even say big dumb. All right, but make sure you smash the like button. Appreciate y'all for joining us here on Woodward Sports. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. He's Easy. We got Nick. We got Chris. I am Spencer. We're talking about replacing Hutchinson, obviously. But let's talk about something that, yeah, well, there is, but people don't want to do it. Let's talk about something that doesn't need replacement, doesn't need any fixing, because it is hot right now, and that is the Detroit Lions offense. Another game of over 30 points. That's 2 back-to-back now. Coming off the bye week, they're absolutely electric and rip people new booty holes. They went into Dallas and hung 47 on Jerry on his 82nd birthday. They dominated the Seattle Seahawks at home. Is this what the Lions offense is, or are they just playing weaker competition the past 2 weeks? Past 2 games, sorry.
I think there's definitely like a point you could draw home there between the Dallas Cowboys, especially like look at the injuries on the Dallas Cowboys defensive front. All along, no Micah Parsons, no Lawrence. They lost Haskins.
Nealand.
Yeah. Also, they didn't have the guy who got 9 interceptions last year. Bland. Like you could definitely have that argument. And then you also look at the Seattle Seahawks. When they were rolling, it was against garbage teams. However, I still believe when you rout a team like that, that's not the Carolina Panthers, with all due respect, there's something there. And you also have just the history of them doing this in the past, being a top 3 offense, like the past 3 years damn near.
Yeah.
So for me, I think it's legit. I think the offense finally woke up. I think that they finally just realized run the fucking ball.
Yeah.
You got their head out of their ass a little bit there. Stop trying to be cute. And now everything's opening up for him. Jared Goff is playing up a fucking, if he continues this stretch, he may enter that MVP conversation. And you guys know I've won money off of those conversations when you guys try to force him in there and he wasn't ready for it. I think this year, if this continues, how can you say no to a guy that's throwing 80% for the last 3 games?
Yeah, his past 3 games, he's been playing on an MVP level for sure. I think this is legit because this is what I expected out of this Lions offense this year. I've been saying it for all summer. This is going to be a historically good offense. It's going to go down as one of the best offenses in the history of the NFL. When you look at guys like Jameson Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, the offensive line, both running backs, and Jared Goff just completely comfortable in what he's doing. The writing was on the wall. They stumbled out of the gate. They had a couple bad showings, but now we're seeing everything click. We're seeing the run game. We're seeing Jameson Williams be involved, but not feel like he's forced to be involved. They're hitting him in spots when he needs to be. Amon-Ra St. Brown doing Amon-Ra St. Brown things. You got Sam Laporta having his first big game of the year, going out there, getting that long touchdown pass on the 3 flicker. Ben Johnson having fun with these play calls, throwing in wrinkles every week, different plays every week where you're like, oh shit. Every single week you're seeing something like that out of this graduate level offense 401. This is legit. This is what we're going to see the rest of the year, because not only is Jared Goff playing just the best ball of his career right now, David Montgomery is also playing the best ball of his career. Jameson Williams is comfortable and confident in being a borderline wide receiver 1 in this offense. You know what Amon-Ra St. Brown brings. And then, Sam Laporta, who is a top 3 tight end in the NFL as a rookie. The team is awesome. They're clicking. They're feeding off of each other. You don't know if he's going to call a run or if he's going to call a pass. I remember I was bitching at one of the I think it was the first drive of the second half, where they came out and started throwing the ball 3 times in a row. I was like, Ben, just run the ball. Run. Boom, boom. 10-yard gain, 15-yard gain, 16-yard gain, touchdown. I was like, all right, don't listen to me, Ben, because they can do no wrong. Like I said, is it Ben Midas or is it King Johnson? Everything he touches turns to gold. It's impressive, and this is what I expected out of this offense this year, because they have a weapon at every single level.
Yeah, I think just real quick too, Nick, is just everyone's bought in, because you have to sell your job, because you have literally everyone damn near feels like has an opportunity to touch the ball and score. So as long as you're selling on those like normal plays, those duos, those counters, and you're selling your job, that's going to open up the situation where you may have that trick play in your book. And that's the cool part, too, about having, I think Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn are the longest reigning coordinators in the NFL.
Yes.
And it's a beautiful thing, because as many trick plays we have, I've seen people kind of bitching about it. And I understand it, too, to a certain extent, that, like, hey, you're kind of emptying your barrel, showing, like, your whole case out there before it may matter in a crunch time situation or playoff situation. But the thing is a lot of these guys have been part of this offense for so long, along with Ben Johnson being your offensive play caller, that when you heard Penei Sewell talk about that hook and lateral, that was in there 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You heard Taylor Decker talking about that. That was in there in 2021.
Yeah.
Like, they've had these plays, and I'm sure there's more of them. They've been practicing for years now. Then they probably build upon each other every single year. You're adding an additional one. And again, been practicing for multiple times too. It's not just, spur of the moment, or this week we're doing this. Every time they do one of these, even the one with Amon-Ra and Jameer, what they say, that was something we wanted to do last year too. Like, that's the beautiful thing about having this Ben Johnson. That may not be next year's trade for Max Crosby.
It's another thing to think about. That's all you're giving every opposing defense. Just when you that's why I'm not against those moves, because ultimately, you do want to save them for that moment, but now you're just giving them more things to think about. Fuck, I gotta think about a 3-man flea flicker, the type of stuff that they have to worry about.
Linebackers, like, I might cover Penei Sewell in the flat here. Like, what the fuck? It's not even fair.
That's going to be an issue now. That's going to lead to overthinking, and a lot of what we said. What did we say about this offense the first couple weeks? Simplify it. Now they've thrown so many complex layers that simple shit, just running it straight up the middle, just, doing this pitch here, this slip screen here, those things will work exponentially better, because now you do have those off chances of these teams preparing for that wild card play that Ben Johnson has shown.
Yeah, and shout out to Gunga, I take your pants off. Sure. Easy mentioned, like, these wrinkles that you're adding in there, the flea flicker and the hook and ladder and the Amon-Ra St. Brown potential throwing the ball, and different things that have been in there for a couple years in this Ben Johnson playbook that him and Jared Goff sat down and curated as soon as they were brought in here. You still got, like, SpongeBob meme, old reliable, which is run the ball to the right side of the offensive line behind Penei Sewell and now Kevin Zeitler. That is just gashing teams. Like I said, I was doing the little play-by-play on the watch party, and when they were running the ball, if someone missed a block or if the hole wasn't open, David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs would just be like, and go behind Penei Sewell and run the ball to the right, because they know that's at least 4 yards that Penei Sewell is pushing his block. It's just awesome to see what this run game is doing and how they're complementing each other. And I saw everybody in the chat talking about him, talking about TP. And no, I'm not talking about town portals or toilet paper. We're talking about Tim Patrick. Tim Patrick is exactly what this offense needed, and it's exactly what I and Easy and we all said was going to happen when they signed him. This isn't the guy that you're going to throw 10 targets to. This is a guy you throw a couple balls to 50-50 down the sideline. He's a big body wide receiver. He's going to make a play. Like Chris said, just another thing for the defense to talk about. And Herman Moore had us on his podcast. He said the same thing. He knows a lot about big body wide receivers, and he knows a lot about beating the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
And he said himself, this is another factor to this offense. This is another thing for defenses to worry about that, oh shit, we got this covered, we got that covered, we're playing good coverage. Jared Goff might just throw one up to Tim Patrick, and he is going to outmuscle a wide receiver. He is like a poor man's Mike Evans. Like, that's what Tim Patrick is going to bring to your team. And it's a perfect fit to go with Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. And I'd love that it's all meshing now. Nick?
That's why I don't think this is a mistake at all. Well, this isn't just because it's the Cowboys and the Seahawks. It's because you just named so many of those weapons. But I want to talk about two of those weapons specifically. That were two first-rounders. That were two of the fastest guys in both of their respected drafts. That might be two of the fastest guys in the whole entire NFL. You got J-Mo expanding the field now that him and Goff are finally on the same page for the first time in 3 years. This is what it looks like. It makes this offense, it takes this offense to a whole different level where you are talking about the number one offense in football.
Yes.
This is what Brad Holmes imagined when he took him in the first round with Jahmyr Gibbs also in the first round. The speed on this team is insane. To go with the reliability of a guy like St. Brown over the middle, of a guy like Sam Laporta finally getting going like he did in Dallas after the the double flea flicker.
Three flicker.
The three flicker. You're getting back to your roots when it comes to getting the ball to Sam Laporta, getting the ball to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Oh, yeah, you need 6 yards.
Oh, yeah.
You need 5, 4, whatever you need. Monty's giving it to you.
Yeah.
So you want to get punched in the face? We will do that all day. This is not a joke. This is not a drill. We have the best offense in the NFL. And to be honest, I expect it to remain the best offense in the NFL for the remainder of the season.
I agree.
And for the next however long, we have this same group for.
Someone in the chat, where was it? Let me find it. I think it was MPWMU says Section 8 Mike Evans. And like, that's funny. But it's like that. He's a bully, man. That's why I love Mike Evans. He's one of my favorite receivers of all time. I think he's a top 10 receiver in the history of the NFL. He is a bully, dude. He bullies people. And that's what Tim Patrick does. He's 6'4", physical, long arms. He's not going to burn people every game like J-Mo, but if you throw him a jump ball, I like the odds he comes down with it. Easy, tell us about Swiss before we go to break.
Guys, Detroit Lions need to do it. You need to do it too. Get some insurance. Make sure you guys are covered. Call my guy Mark, 313-530-1698. That's Mark at Swiss INS. Make sure those rates aren't climbing up on you and the deductibles either. It's 313-530-1698. It's Mark at Swiss Insurance.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Hamp for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
The best youth football league in Metro Detroit is the Boys and Girls Club Southeastern Michigan's 3C Sports League. Youth ages 5 to 14 can choose 6 exciting teams to choose from in locations of Detroit. Belleville, Highland Park, and East Point. All of these coaches are trained, certified, and undergo background checks. Plus, you get equipment, meals, and transportation included, all with the chance to play the championship at Ford Field. They'll actually be doing that this Saturday. You can do that for just $175 per child. Register for football or cheer at bgcsm.org.
Breaking news that may reflect the Detroit Lions matchup this weekend.
No way.
Vikings have traded for Cam Akers from the Houston Texans. It's only reason why it pertains this week is back in London, Aaron Jones did hurt his hip or did something weird with his hip. He's questionable this week.
Yep, they're going to need, I don't care if it's Cam Akers, Cam Jordan, Cam Newton.
They ain't running the ball.
They're not running the ball. Shout out.
But he can catch it too.
Doug Homerich, our guy, SC Doug from South Carolina, said, Spenny and Easy, thanks for sharing my woodworking. It helped me climb out of a deep hole in my life. They're available if people are interested. Doug, if you got a link or a website, put it in the chat and we'll pin it for you guys.
Or social media profile.
Yeah, social media, whatever. Put it in the chat where people could get them and we'll pin it. These are, you can see them on the desk here. Doug sent us some lanterns. He sent little electric candles with them too. There's a slot. You put them in the back. There's a Michigan State one, Lions one. He also sent a Michigan one and a Detroit one. They're hand-carved, hand-crafted. Shout out to SC Doug. He's a guy listening all the way from South Carolina. We met him before the Lions game.
Speaking of Unky
very good
Doug,
guy.
I told you guys a story, but I don't know if I told you guys the story, the complete version of it. There's pictures in the Slack. I don't know if you grabbed them or not. He was at, because he's stationed, he served, by the way. I think he was serving.
Thank you for your service,
SC Doug. But he was stationed in Hawaii. And obviously, you guys know the Pro Bowl used to be there, meaning Barry Sanders, the Pro Bowler, All-Pro, Hall of Famer that he is, was there frequently. And SC Doug got a little inebriated. And obviously, Barry Sanders don't get to come across Barry Sanders quite often. So he hopped the what barrier of the fan section onto the field, walked up to Barry Sanders, and introduced himself. Do you have the pictures, Chris?
Yes, I do.
Lions fans.
Shout out SC Doug.
Yeah, I had him send these pictures. I meant to put them up. So that's him.
During the game?
During the game. During the game, just hopped over, walked up to Barry. It's like, I just had to do it. It's my opportunity. There's getting carried away by security. And this is back in the 90s where they didn't have all the digital stuff. As long as you had your ticket stub, you could re-enter the game.
Yeah.
So then he after got kicked out, he went to another.
Came back in.
Yeah, went to another entrance, came back in, and enjoyed the rest of the game.
Absolute legend. Again, thank you for your service, SC Doug. Thank you for these awesome lanterns. Like I said, I'm gonna put mine in my backyard later today.
One, show the.
Here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. It sounds like something. There's another picture. I don't know if you grabbed it in there.
This is the Michigan State one. This is the one I'm taking. He also sent a Lions one. He sent a Michigan one, and he sent a Detroit Tigers one. And so, yeah, shout out to Doug. That's a legendary story.
Legend.
Nick, I feel like if you were born in the 80s, you'd have that same story.
Yeah.
Shout out. I mean, you saw the fit there, the crew neck and the shorts. I mean, shout out SC Doug.
Do we have
I definitely
any
would probably.
deadweight shirts left?
No.
Damn.
We have to make some more.
We should make some more because we should definitely send Doug one.
Yeah, Doug and his son. I forgot his son's name. I apologize.
Couple minutes left here in the
segment.
In the segment, yeah.
All right, so this is what I wanted the chat to do. First and foremost, real quick. Chris Hillage is on the prep sheet. Chris Hillage said some things I'm very curious to see Nick's response to that we can get to, or do you guys want a quick, brief preview of Detroit Lions Vikings, or we can say that for tomorrow. But it's up to you, chat. I need to see what you guys say in the Woodward Sports chat. Let us know.
Yeah, tell us. You want to hear us talk about Chris Ilitch or keep talking Lions?
Do you want to talk about fun or depressing?
Yeah, depressing or fun, because I am excited. This is going to be a really good game against the Vikings this week. This is going to be a really good game. This is going to be a close game. It's on the road in Minnesota. They are extremely confident. 5-0, coming off a bye week. This is going to be a fun game.
So this
Christian is his son, born and raised a Lions fan.
There you go.
Shout out to SC.
What's Doug's name in the chat?
Doug Humrich is his first name. I'm sorry if I'm butchering
First and
that.
last. No, you're good.
Douglas Humrich.
Lions, baby. All right, we're doing Detroit Lions. Chris Hillage will be rest in peace by Nick shortly after that. I guess we got 5 minutes left in this one spin. You want to go over it quick, or you want to give it due credit and do a break?
No, we can go over it. All right, we'll go over it quick.
Yeah, we got tomorrow, too.
We got 4 minutes left. We're going to get rid of this, and then we'll come back. We'll give you a full segment of Lions. Yeah, Chris Illich said that Javi has a place on this team. Chris Illich said that he's going to be in spring training and they have a place for him on this team next year. That's not something you want to hear. That's not good. Because that means they're probably not going to sign a shortstop in the offseason.
Do we still need to sign one?
Yes.
Sweeney?
Yes.
You have hopes? I mean, he's a rookie.
I mean, you have hopes for him, but I need I don't trust Trey Sweeney to be the everyday shortstop trying to win the Central next year.
Yeah, it's a 45-minute presser. I didn't listen to all of it, but pieces I caught from it. One, they definitely felt like they got a little too left-handed.
Yeah, you need a right-handed power hitter in this lineup.
They want a right-handed batter, which maybe that explains Javi.
Stop it.
2, I'm just saying.
My bad.
No, you're good. You're good. And then the other part is the money. It sounds like we're going to run it back. I mean, Nick.
No, we can't.
You're the most passionate on it.
No, we definitely cannot. I mean, you're basically looking at all of those fans that showed up over the ALDS when you had those playoff games, those 2 sellout crowds where you broke the record both times for the most playoff people. You are looking at all of them, pulling your pants down and taking a piss right all over everything.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing to this fan base. If you put Javi Baez out there, that is what you are saying. I could not stand it. He's got to be bluffing for some reason.
Pizza, bitch.
I don't have any faith in this organization if that's what they choose to do. You want to talk about going out and getting a right-handed bat that's going to help this team? I'm going out and getting an everyday third baseman. I'm going out and making a trade for Brent Rooker. Shout out St. Flannel. I know he loves him. Because the Oakland Athletics are never going to pay him what it costs to retain him. I'm going out, I'm trading some of these prospects that you did a great job of moving off some of your expiring contracts, like a Michael Lorenzen 2 years ago for a Hao-Yu Lee, like a Jack Flaherty this year for Tyron Lorenzo. But I am immediately trading Hao-Yu Lee, a second baseman that's behind others in this organization, and a Barencio, who's a catcher/first baseman, because he's stuck behind Lorenzo at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm going out and getting Brent Rooker from the Oakland Athletics as my power right fielder.
I would love Brent Rooker in this lineup. Yeah, it would be perfect. A power bat on the right side. He's a professional bat. Like, he's been in the league for a little while
Over
now.
900 OPS.
Yeah, he would fit perfectly. Brent Rooker Jesse Winker is another guy. I know Flannel is in love with him. I would take either of those guys. If you don't add a power right-handed bat to this lineup, and you put Javi out there opening day, I have no respect for you, Chris Illich. So we'll see. Scott Harris did say that he will have the money, the funds, to go after and get anybody he wants. I believe Stoney asked him if you're going to have the funds to go out and get any guy you want, and he said yes. So bring Juan Soto to Detroit. I mean, dude,
that'd be crazy.
Why not?
I mean, yeah.
Why not give him $400 million, Chris? Just joking. Again, a pipe dream. Let's go to break. Tell us about Swiss. We're going to be talking Lions when we get back. Swiss?
Mark White.
Mark White? Oh, Mark White.
Mark White.
Gonna do you right.
Mark White, gonna do you right. Give him a call today, guy. Give him a call today. That's Mark White, his sales associates. Get you in your home. Save you up to $5,000 on the cost of your new home. That's 248-290-8242. Visit them at markwhitesales.com. It's Mark White. He gonna do you right.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Game day in Detroit. Make sure you check out Woodward and Maine when you wake up. It's with rising star Matthew Broder and Detroit sports media legend Terry Foster every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. And after that, make sure you check out the New Holland Brewing Company Lions pregame show. Every game day, Neil Rule and Sean Belegian bring you the best Lions pregame show. Sunday, 10 a.m. to noon on Woodward Sports. Live at Second Best Bar in Detroit for the home games. Brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller Your Local Long Drink, Sabbath Coffee, Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, and Les Stanford Chevrolet.
Let me tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. The same great service the customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn and Dane. Find the brand you want at lesstanford.com. They got me in my car. They can get you in yours. It's as simple as that. You go in there. Great customer service, great prices. They'll get you a deal. They'll get you in a great car. Same day. I walked in there. I was driving out with my Blazer the next day. Les Stanford. Together, let's rise.
Oh! What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on Sports.com. Every boy easy, joined by Spinmo Raxter, Chris, Nicholas Kohloff, a.k.a. Microwave Nick. Smash that like button. Be a friend, tell a friend, and share the stream.
Adiz411 says, who's number 11 on the Lions? It's Khalif Raymond. If you don't know, the Lions have signed Isaiah Thomas. So, yeah, Khalif Raymond
That's the new number 11.
Yeah, Khalif Raymond might have to give up his number. It's not that Isaiah Thomas.
As promised, we will give you a brief preview of the Detroit Lions versus the Minnesota Vikings at U.S. Bank Stadium this Sunday at 1 p.m. Spinny, the matchups got me most excited. What up, Chris?
That's what I was going to ask, is what's the one matchup that concerns you the most?
Not even concerned, because I think this team is a beatable team regardless. It's Ben Johnson versus Brian Flores. That is what I'm looking for. That is the chess match of the century. Last year, we kind of got, I'm not saying we got lucky, but I'll say this, Brian Flores didn't have all his chess pieces on the board. He kind of entered that game halfway when he lost a lot of people he had. Obviously, he jumped into that situation before they acquired the pieces he needs for the type of defense he likes to run. Again, he likes to run a similar thing to Todd Bowles. A lot of just, I guess, schemed up blitzes that you don't really see coming. A lot of cover zero stuff.
Yeah.
You grabbed a fantastic piece I wanted the Detroit Lions to get that I really wanted was Alex Van Ginkel. If you guys watched the show, you heard his name before. But he's a guy, Dan Campbell spoke about it yesterday. You don't know whether he's rushing. You don't know whether he's dropping back in coverage. When he drops back in coverage, I'm pretty sure this guy has 2 to 3 interceptions on the year. Like, he's pretty good. Had a pick six last year. No, he had pick six this year, too.
Yeah.
I think back-to-back pick sixes. Alex Van Ginkel is an absolute weapon for them. Dallas Turner, we got to see what he's become as a rookie so far. I haven't been keeping too much of an eye on him. They went and grabbed the veteran DB, Stephon Gilmore.
Yep.
He's over there now, too.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Jonathan Grenard played double-digit sacks last year. On his way to double-digit sacks again this year. And, again, just the schematics itself, I think last year, again, he didn't have the pieces he wanted. I know Daniil Hunter's a damn good football player, but he can't drop back into coverage the way Alex Van Ginkel or Dallas Turner can do for him.
Yeah.
He's just he's doing every single play. He's rushing the quarterback.
Yep.
That's what he should be doing every single play. But he's finally got the piece he needs to be
flexible,
exotic,
versatile,
different,
versatile.
And I think that's the matchup I want to see versus Ben Johnson doing the same thing.
Yeah, that's the matchup. Like that's what scares you about the Vikings team. I mean, obviously Justin Jefferson, KOC, Sam Darnold playing out of his mind. Their offense looks good, but the defense is what scares you with the different pieces they have, the rotational ability they have on the defensive line, and the versatility in the secondary of guys that can do different things, play in different spots. Ben Johnson versus Brian Flores is the matchup to watch. It is two expert play callers, two guys that have mastered their craft and have the pieces, each of them have the pieces to do whatever they want. That's why I'm comfortable that the Lions are going to win this, because good on good, our good's better than your good. Good on good, I believe Ben Johnson will outcoach Brian Flores in this game. And it's going to be a lot of schemes. You're going to see a lot of like in basketball, if you're trying to break someone down, you give them a move, and then they go one way, so you have to add a counter move to that other move. That's what we're going to see out of Ben Johnson and Brian Flores. It's going to be like an anime fight, like, aha, I saw that coming. Let me activate my counter. And then Ben Johnson's like, that plays right into my hand this whole time.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally going to be like, oh, but you did this, so I do this, and then I do that. It's I would explain it in even more nerdy fashion in Yu-Gi-Oh card the realm,
Hell
but
yeah.
people don't even want to hear about that.
No, I'm here for it.
Different
shout out
you
Yu-Gi-Oh.
like chain cards together in Yu-Gi-Oh! To where if like now you activate a trap card based on the activation of one of his cards, and then he can activate a card based on that card's activation, and it's whoever has the last one wins the whole battle.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the same thing with Ben Johnson and Brian Flores. Whoever makes that last adjustment, whoever makes that last tip based on the plays that you're seeing is who's going to win this battle. And I think that's why Ben Johnson got so weird with the Cowboys. That's why Ben Johnson brought out all those hook and ladders and those lineman passes and the different things we saw is to have something in the back of Brian Flores' mind to maybe make him overthink things, so then you just have David Montgomery shoving the ball down your throat.
Now, does it concern you, because we've talked about this multiple shows across multiple seasons now, that little bit of second half lull, the lack of adjusting there, does that kind of concern you at all?
No, I don't think it's a thing. I think that narrative, they did chain together last year. You saw it, but when you go and watch what happened, it was just weird freak shit happening. That's really what it was. I think at times in the Chicago Bears game specifically, when you're out there in the cold, I think they could have ran the ball a little bit more. And I get the Chicago Bears has a good defense. By the way, this year you're seeing that again too. But no, I don't think the second half is a thing. You may get slowed down a little bit, and that's just natural second half adjustments by the other team. You're not going to be able to bully ball people all game long. I mean, we did with Dallas Cowboys, but most of that damage was done in that first quarter, or the first half, I should say. The thing, and I saw a comment in the Woodward Sports chat that they love the blitz, and we're great against the blitz. It's the type of blitzes that they bring. Like, I think this is very much, I forgot what the Lions running back coach called it. Not yard markers, but what's the name for
goalposts?
Not goalposts. Just like landmarks. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
This offense is very much predicated off of landmarks. Guys being like where they're supposed to be. It's very much a timing and rhythm offense than it is watching having things developed on the field. Like, who you're kind of going to your first 2 to 3 reads, and Jared Goff has fucking all day back there to find those guys. If you're able to get pressure on him, that's when he starts making mistakes. You could blitz him, and he's great against the blitz because he knows where his guys are going to be. You could send somebody who sees him coming. Okay, well, I know Amon-Ra's about to be here in about 5 seconds, so fucking here we go. Let me whip that thing down there. But if you're able to get actual pressure on him, then he starts doing some weird Will Levis shit at times. And it is what it is.
Yeah.
That's how he plays. That's why I think this one's a little bit dangerous, is that he's exotic blitzes. You don't know where they're coming from. You don't know who's dropping back into coverage. And the guys dropping back into coverage are still very capable. Like Alex Van Ginkel, as great as he is getting to the – not great, I don't want to say, but as good as he is to get into your guy in terms of a sack, he's just as good dropping back into coverage. 2 interceptions for him in the year, one being a pick 6. I think Dallas Turner, they drafted him to be that. I don't even know if he's healthy, though. Got to check on that. TJ Hawkinson, their offensive side, is coming back, too. It's going to be an interesting matchup. I think,
it's going to be a fun game, man. It's going to be competitive. These are 2 of the top 3 teams in the NFC right now.
Pill, though, still at the end of it. Bottom line, running the football.
Yes.
And the most smash mouth way, too, Nick.
Our offense will always travel. That's what obviously you saw it in Dallas. Like, they took over that game. But the biggest matchup to me, it starts and ends with Justin Jefferson versus Carlton Davis. Obviously, he cleared protocol today, which is massive news
hype. I didn't hear
for
that.
the Detroit Lions. I just had to fact check it before.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
news.
333 yards in the 2 games last year with Nick Mullins as your quarterback, fellas. He's finally got a competent quarterback in Sam Darnold here. So, yeah, that's where it starts and ends with me. Obviously, we still won both of those games last season, but I just believe that's what it comes down to. You stop Justin Jefferson, this offense looks a lot different. And it's not about maybe even stopping him, but can you contain him under 85 yards? That's it would feel like a big win to me, and I think that offense looks different too. And you guys said Jones got banged up?
Yep.
Yeah, and obviously Chafer can't make her, so like something might not be right there, whether it's long term or short term.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you go out and get a guy like Carlton Davis for these games specifically. You talk about a number 1 and the best wide receiver in the league, in my eyes, and it's Justin Jefferson. You go out, you trade a 3rd rounder for Carlton Davis for a game like this, in division matchup, heavyweight versus heavyweight fight. Let's see who gets the better of the other. I think the Lions do. I think the Lions win this game.
Yeah, I agree. This is going to be a great game. It's going to be very competitive. But, I think the Lions come over on top because even with Aidan Hutchinson going down. I still think they have a better overall team.
Yeah, I just think at that point it's like a little bit of a shootout. And this is where I'm very curious to see this weekend, though. If you're not able to generate the pressure, are we dropping out of the man coverage? It's kind of been working for these safeties specifically, because I think that's been like one of their weaknesses. Is as much as Sam Darnold's kind of balling this year, he's prone to make mistakes.
He is.
And if we can catch him sleeping, got Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch out there. Brian, 3 fucking turnovers in one game. My God.
Yeah.
And then Kirby Joseph doing what he's doing, just second in the league in interceptions alone. I think that's where another advantage we have on the defense side of the ball is causing turnovers that way.
And just wait, if we see the Vikings get onto this long drive to start the game, just know we have them exactly where we want them. Because you can't run the ball against Detroit. We already know this. And you can't throw it on them in the red zone either. Did you know that teams throwing the ball against the Lions in the red zone this year are 1 for 14 with 1 touchdown and 5 interceptions?
Oh, hell yeah!
This team clamps down in the red zone. It's extremely impressive. I already mentioned yesterday, Kirby Joseph has 4 interceptions. All 4 of them are in the red zone. It's so great, or all 4 of them are in the end zone, excuse me. It's so great to see them doing that, because that's, that big dumb idiot Matt Patricia used to preach, bend, don't break.
Yeah.
They're actually bending and not breaking this year. It's great to see. We talked about the best safety tandem in the NFL in Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph. When you give those guys less area that they have to cover, and they know they have the back of that end zone as another defender, they can just attack the ball. And that's what makes them so good. We're going to go to break. Get your mailbag questions in the chat. This was a fast show. A lot to talk about. Get your mailbags in. We'll answer as many of those as we can. Chris, tell us about merch.
Hey, Charles.
Are you guys tired of that same old Detroit sports merch? Head on over to woodwardsports.com. Click that shop tab there. You see it on my screen. They got hoodies, tees, hats, all that guaranteed to turn heads. So why don't you head on over to woodwardsports.com, click that shop tab there, and get yourself some fly, brand new merch.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and Thursdays during Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
One real quick, shout out to Chase Hamley. I do not want this to go wasted. He took the time to make it. Shout out to our guy Chase in the back. V and the boy Nick.
Hot dog boy.
Hot dog boy. Real quick, just want to get this information out there. Offensive passing efficiency, overall passing efficiency for the Vikings defense, they rank second in the league. For their rushing defense, their efficiency is number 3 in the league. And pressure rate, they're number 8. So that goes into plays in the hand of where we're at offensively. Passing efficiency number 5, rushing efficiency number 4, and the pressure rate stopping it is 13th.
That falls into my trap card.
Yes,
falls into our trap card. Maybe
trap card.
It's gonna be a good ass matchup.
Piercing
also,
mirror force.
Surprisingly enough, our passing efficiency on defense ranks 6th in the league. Detroit Lions, top 10. Kind of crazy. And passing, I didn't think it would be that. Overall rushing efficiency, number 9. I thought that'd be a lot higher for us. And then our pressure rate is number 4, and that was with Aidan Hutchinson. Stats. Get your mailbag questions in. We did have a power ranking. I didn't make the graphics. We can go over that real quick if you like, or we can get to the questions. I didn't see if you posted them. Save it.
Rando Smalls, mailbag. When defense doesn't miss a beat on Sunday, do we stand pat then? No. Next question.
Randall Smalls asked earlier, he could see the defense getting better without Hutch. Defensive line better.
I don't understand how you could even make that assumption.
I think that's racism.
I think that's right.
You just lost the best player in football. You're not going to get better. Honolulu BS, mailbag. Do you think Houston gets the call up? He's going to have to. It's going to be all hands on deck.
I don't know, dude. They just, what's his name? Got the guy, Isaiah Thomas signed on to the squad. Uku. I don't know. I don't know.
They don't like
call up.
They don't like him. I mean,
they like Levi.
They like Levi.
Maybe they should trade him. And
what are you going to get for him?
Trade him for Max Crosby.
A 6th round.
Yeah,
I mean,
straight up.
6th round pick.
Yeah, straight up. James Houston for Max Crosby. I like it. The Runyon 99 mailbag. Did you expect Bates to still be perfect on field goals at this point? No, I honestly didn't.
Well, he missed the extra point, didn't he? Did he miss one?
Yeah, on field goals.
On field goals?
Yeah, he hasn't missed a field goal so far this year. I did not expect that, honestly. It's been very impressive out of Master Bates.
I don't know what I expected with that kid, to be honest with you. That was such a wild card. Like,
I thought he'd miss a couple of 60-yarders by now. Like, I thought we'd take some shots at the end of, like, the half or whatever. But, no, I'm thrilled. And plus, we play in a lot of domes.
It's crazy. There's a team predicated off of competition. They didn't bring a single body in there to compete with him. They really believe in that kid.
Next one, Feldman Sack from Desert Stallion 14. Everyone and their mom said Wingo strongly resembled Aaron Donald. All pumped for Ukwu and Broderick Martin, a.k.a. Reader Padawan, still on the team. Can all 3 equal 1 Hutch? No.
No. And I don't think anybody said that resembled Aaron Donald. He just had the 10-yard split.
Yeah.
That was up there with Aaron Donald.
No, you cannot replace Hutch with Broderick Martin, Ukwu, and Makai Wingo.
You can maybe call Aaron Donald, just to see what he's
That's
doing.
what I said. Brad Holmes,
offer some bread.
Boys. Next one, mailbag from Wheezy D313. When we get 4 sacks this weekend, will it be because Hutch got double teamed and drew attention?
What?
What is? That doesn't even make sense.
Are people taking victory laps for Hutch getting hurt here?
I don't know.
What the hell is going on?
I don't know. That was just ridiculous.
I don't understand
that. It doesn't even make sense.
Maybe did you read it right?
Yeah. Where was it? Let me see.
Is he trolling us?
Mailbag, when we get 4 sacks this weekend, will it be because Hutch got double teamed and drew attention? I don't know what you're trying to say. I don't know if you're trying to be funny or something.
I think he's trying to mock the people that were look at all the attention Hutch is
He's
getting,
saying we're going to get 4 sacks without Hutch this weekend.
Yeah, I hope so, but you still need to replace Aidan Hutchinson. If you if you don't think you got to replace him, you're stupid. Honolulu, I'm sorry, not to be rude, but if you don't think you should replace,
if your goal is a Super Bowl, you got to get something out there. To be honest, just straight up.
If you think the guys on the team can do the same job that Aidan Hutchinson was, you're sadly mistaken.
We just went over the Super Bowl champions.
Honolulu BX mailbag. Why did you just jinx Bates? I said it during the live broadcast.
He also
my fumble didn't jinx.
Yeah.
Fumble didn't jinx.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 sacks.
We don't do that around here.
Outside of Aidan Hutchinson.
Aaron to the Stone mailbag.
7.
Have you guys started watching the new horror series Teacup on Peacock with sexy AF Yvonne Starhosky? Watched the first episode last night. It's fire. Check it out.
Send your login.
I don't have Peacock.
Send a login, please. At eSpeakeasy Sports.
She's got a hot name.
She does have a hot name, yeah.
Last one. Steve-O Baby. Mailbag. Nick, would you wear the hot dog suit on the way back home? Shout out to you, Nick.
Way back home from
here?
Yeah. No, he tried to take it off before the show was over last week.
Yeah.
I had a date. I was trying to run out of here, and so obviously still wearing it right now. We learned our lesson.
That's a tough one. DNC ENT. All right, for real, last one. Would you rather shit bricks or piss marbles?
Oh,
shit bricks.
Shit bricks.
I don't know, dude.
Leave my dick alone.
Yeah, there is. Dude. Yeah, because you piss a lot
I've
more.
only seen my dad cry once in his life, and that was when he was passing
pissing marbles.
That's when he was
yeah.
past the kidney stone.
Oh,
So
God.
Can you imagine a marble? Jesus.
And you piss.
I feel like I've had some pretty big shits.
But
I feel like you've never shit a brick?
Not
shit the
a
weight of a
literal
brick.
Yeah.
Well,
But
obviously not a
that'll do it
fucking
for us today. Appreciate y'all tapping
But
in.
you never looked down and was like, God damn.
Yeah, I have before, yes. Make sure you smash that like button. Appreciate you
Am
all
I
joining
gay?
in.
How'd
We
they
are the
come out?
Woodward Heavyweights here on Woodward Sports. For Easy, for Nick, for Chris, I am Spencer. We're the Heavyweights, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace. Same time, knuckleheads.